I want to talk to you about my experience building my business while I was homeless in the COVID-19 pandemic. And I want to do that with as little interference as possible, with as little editing as possible, maybe no editing. So I also want to do that with as little cussing as possible. And I'm doing my best not to cuss, because I know there's kids listening to me, and I also know that people get offended sometimes when they hear that. But at the same time, I'm going to be true to myself, and I truly believe that God does not want me to take that much time to edit myself, because I need to tell my story, and I need to get that message out there, because guess what? You're worth it. My name is Liberty V Justice, and there's no period in my V, because my victories never end, and I'm here to help you get your victories, legends. Thanks for listening to Rhythm for Revenue. So when I say as little interference as possible, I mean no ads. I mean nothing. I just want to tell the story, and I want to get it out there. Now, this is going to turn into a series because it's a long story, but I want to keep this as brief as possible. Okay? I know we all got shit to do, right? We all got stuff to do. So the reason why I'm doing this right now is because, like I said, I need to get this message out there. And the pandemic had a huge impact on everybody, right? It's a whole world crisis. That's the definition of a pandemic. But my experience is it's very hard to wrap your mind around it, even for myself going through it. And I feel that this is a bit cathartic, but at the same time, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I know that my circumstances were given to me by God so that I can share these lessons that I've learned from every circumstance that I've ever gone through. I can share these lessons, and you can learn, and then you won't have to go through them. Okay, so during the pandemic, like I said, I was homeless, and literally not in a car, but I was literally sleeping on the concrete. And a lot of people ask, why didn't you go to a shelter? Okay, well, I was actually homeless for a total of, I think it was 7 years. There was a short period I had a place. I got a job. It was terrible. They let me go. The job was actually not that bad. I enjoyed it because I was very grateful to have money coming in and not worry about that and sleep indoors, but it ruined my creativity. I didn't have, the time or the resources to get back to LA to do acting or any of this. Singing, I actually got kicked out of my place for singing. And I went to another place, but it was just, when I went to that other place, it was just like being in a shelter, only there was no security guards and I was paying for it. So, I chose to be homeless again because it was safer. So being in a shelter, like I said, it's not safe. Yes, they do have security guards there, but energy, energy is everything. Energy is life. And when you don't get the proper foods and you don't get the proper sleep and you don't get the proper support and the proper people around you, then your energy is bad. Going to a shelter, I went to a shelter when I first came to LA, and I spent a month in LA just to check it out, and it was the month of my grandmother's birthday. It was after she had died. I decided I'm going to come visit LA for the month of her birthday, and that was a decision that I made because I said, I went crazy. What am I going to do? Like, I got nothing left to lose. So grandma's gone and I need to help my family. So I'm going to go check out LA. I'm going to go check out LA. And so we'll talk about that later. But anyway, shelters are not good. It's terrible energy. Now you're worrying, okay, you don't get any sleep because you're trying to charge your stuff, your phone and your laptop and whatever equipment you may have for music or whatever. And you can't do it because people are fighting. You can't sleep. People are trying to steal your shit. You got to go to the front counter to get toilet paper. and it's just a pain in the ass. It's not freedom. It's the opposite of freedom, right? And I'm not saying that homelessness is freedom, because it's not. It's poverty, right? Poverty is slavery. And that's what we were talking about in my podcast, American Slavery. I have a series. You need to check that out. Check that out, okay? So the point of my name is liberty, freedom, right? I changed my name because Christ freed me. Now, being poor is not freedom. Having freedom is having money that you can help other people with. It's not just about not being able to help yourself. Having money is not just about yourself. Being wealthy. Let me explain. Being a millionaire, being a billionaire. I plan on being a billionaire. And being a billionaire, like, who needs billions of dollars? Okay? Nobody. Nobody needs that. Nobody even needs millions, okay? But you need to have enough money. The Bible even says that you need to leave money behind. You need to take care of your family. I want to take care of my mom, my aunt. They have health problems. My whole family has the problem that they don't believe that they're worthy of anything. And that means kids too, the grandkids, right? And at first that was just about my family. I wanted to help my family. I wanted to show them a message. But deep down, I knew that God was going to have me speaking on stages, TED Talks, all this stuff, right? And they say that your story is someone else's survival guide. So here you go. You're worth it. This is your survival guide. Okay. And also, my life's conditions created my mission. And same thing for you. Okay. So I plan on having a lot of money so I can help a lot of people. And that's how I'm going to get the money too. You receive money for what you've given, the service that you've given, okay? And sleeping outside, man, it was an eye-opener. Being homeless in itself was a huge, huge, huge blessing. It was a huge eye-opener. It made me see how ungrateful I was. It made me see how many internal problems that I had still with self-worth issues, childhood traumas, my issues with food, and using food as an escapism, or using food as a friend, using food not just as fuel, but as something to keep me awake. There were different things. Food as a medicine, not a medicine like it's supposed to be, but to get me high kind of thing, like eating sugar to get a high, right? And all of these things that like I said, homelessness was my FTX on poverty, okay? But being homeless during the pandemic, oh boy. Now that was my homelessness was my FTX for the war on poverty, but during the pandemic, it was my immunization. It was my immunization, okay? Because I'm like, this is a sickness. What I see is a sickness. Because the way that people act, I'm going to close this out very soon because this will turn into a way too long. But the way that I saw people abusing their bodies, it's really funny how people were always saying how they're afraid to get sick, when in reality, they're not afraid of getting sick. They were already sick. Physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and financially. But the facts are, it just exposed them. It exposed people for who they really are, and it amplified it. Like, I knew what people were all about, and like I said, almighty dollar. Isn't it funny how poor people always talk about how wealthy people are the ones that cause all the problems? Wealthy people are bad. Wealthy people make us pay more taxes, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true. Actually, number one, wealthy people pay the most taxes. That's number one. Wealthy people pay more taxes than anybody else. That's one. Number two, wealthy people, I'm not saying all wealthy people, and we're talking about what's the definition of wealth. Okay, well, wealth is caring for other people because you care about yourself so much. right? Putting your oxygen mask on first, taking care of yourself so that you can be of greater service to others. And I'm talking about health too. Physical health, food, fitness, social health, communication. Okay? I'm talking about everything. Spiritual. Okay? I'm talking about everything. Financially too. Financially healthy. Okay? But the truth is, poor people expose themselves to me. Now, and when I'm talking about, this time I'm talking about poor people, I'm talking about there's a poverty mentality. Just because you, like right now, I don't have a lot of money that you could see, and I don't see it either, but I see it spiritually, right? But the truth is, I'm wealthy because I love myself enough that right now I see what's coming. And I'm not going to get into that right now, but I can see what's coming, and that's why I'm doing this. I need to get this message out there to y'all. Y'all don't feel me now, but y'all gonna feel me. Okay? Look, poor people, what I saw, like I said, being homeless, that was my FTX on poverty. And the reason why I saw how ungrateful I was being, and the reason that I saw all of my childhood traumas and all the victim stuff that I was still doing to myself, and the things that my lack of communication, and also my miscommunications and my misinterpretations of communication, and all of these things that I needed to fix in order to become a better leader. I saw those things because, I'm not trying to yell, but I get excited. I saw those things, from other poor people that had jobs. You know, I saw the people that got jobs, but the thing is, they got jobs, they got homes to live in. I didn't have those things. I didn't have a regular steady income. I didn't have a fridge for food. I didn't have a stove, right? So there you go. See what I said? All those things I didn't have. I didn't have family. They have family here. They got friends here, right? And they got people they can depend on. And I didn't have those things. And as soon as I started seeing, oh my God, I don't have this, I don't have that, that's exactly what they do. They don't have this, they don't have that. They got everything a person could need in life, but they complain that it's not good enough. So that's why I say, okay, that's poverty, and what I'm doing, it's the same thing, right? I'm ungrateful. So, boom, getting rid of ungratefulness, getting rid of being an ingrate, as my mom says, right? They're ingrates, they're ungrateful. Okay, so I can't be like that. I gotta be grateful for them, for every little thing that they do. I don't have to spend time sitting around talking to them all day while they're getting paid and I'm losing money like I did for a long time, 3-4 years, right? I can be nice to them, I can be cordial, I can lift them up in conversation when I'm at the register, boom, leave though, right? But during the pandemic, it exposed them even further because people say they're so afraid, but they were not afraid of disease. They were not afraid of COVID. They were afraid of not being more greedy. They were afraid of not having any more money. They weren't really necessarily afraid of losing what they had, because if that was true, they would have been nicer to the customers and they would have been faster, and they would have they would have eaten healthier so they could have more energy and look better and brush their fucking hair and shit and clean their clothes before they come to work, okay? But they didn't. They didn't do those things. And I'm not saying all people, but majority of people acted that way, okay? Some people were straight up rude. Some people walked away from me. Some people straight up cussed me out. Some of the people at Walmart, which is why I quit going to Walmart, and just one Walmart, just to be clear, it was only one Walmart, okay? And I don't go there very much anyway, but I went there. There were certain things that I couldn't get anywhere else. For example, a phone so I can perform on my live streams, okay? But the point is this. They were not afraid of losing money. They were not afraid of getting sick. They were more afraid of not having more, not having more money. They got more jobs, but they put less effort into even the ones that only had one job, they put less effort into it. Most of them. There were some really great people, though, at Stater Brothers, and shout out if you guys are listening. Love you so much. Thank you. Did a review for you. Thank you so much. But most people were not afraid of getting sick. They took less care of their bodies. They ate more garbage food. They took less sleep. They took more jobs, more money. They ate more garbage. They spent more money. Even the ones that didn't start making more money, they spent more money. Okay? So I saw this and I say, you know what? I need to work more. And so I started working more even though I didn't know why I was getting on TikTok. I didn't know why God told me to get on TikTok and make these little videos with my speeches, except for the fact that I needed to become a better communicator. That was my goal. That was my only goal, was to make videos, to communicate and get messages out there to people. And that's what I did. And now, thank you, Jesus, I have a great community of almost 200,000 fans on TikTok at this point. I know a lot of these people. I know them personally. I have their home addresses. I have their emails, their phone numbers, their Instagrams. I have their Twitter accounts, and they usually find me, but I'm the one that usually goes and finds them in the first place. Okay. And I usually DM people. Now I'm at the point where I pretty much shut down all of my DMs unless they're to businesses or real friends or family. Okay. Some of these people that I thought were my friends, that I made relationships with, they don't really talk to me unless they want something. And so that's why they're back in the category of fans, and I'm not answering these messages because I can't take the energy like that. I need to put all my energy into becoming the best speaker and becoming the best communicator, the best health advocate, and eventually get back to my music and the best performer. I'm going to be performing soon as I get a phone. I'm going to get a new phone. That one broke. But anyway, I love my music. I love my people. I love my fans. I love my community. I am so grateful to be on TikTok. And, you know, I'm just going to cut that short, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue this series and do another. It's pretty late. Like, it's 6 o'clock p.m. for me in California right now, but I get up super, super early, like 3 a.m. That's why but I had to get this message out there. But, you know, I just want to sum it up by saying I'm so grateful for being homeless, especially during the pandemic. I'm so grateful to see everybody else's how ungrateful they are. But at the same time, you know, I'm grateful that you're ungrateful, but I'm also, I want to help you with that. Okay. I want to help you eat healthier. I want to help you be more grateful. I want to help you understand why you're suffering so much, because a lot of you don't even understand why you are so miserable. Why? Part of it is your food. Part of it is your attitude. You're ungrateful. Part of it is because of your environment and the people you hang around, your friends, your family, your social upbringing, things, trauma, childhood trauma. There's so many factors that go into it, and I have been through these things, so I really want to help you with that, because it is my duty, it is my mission, it is the reason that I live, it is the reason that I do everything that I do. It is a reason that I fight for my life sometimes. You know, I don't want to go into that, but there was a time when I got hit by a car and just kept going because I needed to go during the pandemic, because I needed to go and do my TikTok live stream. And that might sound like something to you that's insignificant, but that's where I found my significance and realized that God put me on TikTok to inspire people, and that I knew that I'm Worth It Incorporated. That was when my business first became legal, and I knew that I was doing something good when I obeyed God and went on TikTok. And when I started working more, that's when eventually they came out with the Creator Fund and they started paying me. TikTok no longer pays me, but I'm so thankful just to have an audience and people that are listening and understand where I'm coming from, that I want to help them, even though they don't really understand where I'm coming from. I should say they understand what I'm trying to give to them, and I'm trying to help. And I'm not trying. Hopefully I am helping people, because Yoda says there's only do or do not. But eventually people are going to come out of this sickness of poverty in the mind, and eventually you'll come out, you'll be healthier physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and financially, because you're worth it. Okay? So I'm grateful. And if you're grateful for me, do me a favor, share this podcast wherever you're listening to podcasts. Share it with a friend. Do a review for us and give us 5 stars. Okay? Do us like 2 or 3 sentences as to what you learned from this. Why should other people listen to it? Okay? Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Come on back now. You hear? You're worth it. And make sure you listen to American Slavery and some of our other really great podcasts that we have. Thank you so much. I'm so, so grateful for you. You are worth it. My name is Liberty V. Justice, and there's no period in my V, because my victories never end, and I'm here to help you get your victories, legends. You're worth it.